Hi, welcome back everyone. I've been playing the build for some time now, and I had one major problem. My PC couldn't handle the build, even while playing on the lowest settings. I almost dropped the build, but then I decided to try the DirectX 12 and became pretty good. It runs much smoother, and I don't get freezes that often. So yeah, I can continue playing the build. Personally, I enjoyed the build a lot. The amount of projectiles on the screen, the purplish color, I really like that. Sometimes when I get enough Headhunter stacks and good shrines, I get so much attack speed that my character locks in T-pose. I don't remember last time that I saw that at any build, especially since Headhunter and Soul Thirst belt nerf. Okay, time to invest into the build a little bit more. First, I wanted to try to swap to the Power Siphon and try playing as a Flicker Strike build. For my first upgrade, I bought the Crown of the Invert helmet, which allows me to drop the Anoint on the amulet. Then I bought the Doriani's prototype body armor, and it's the best body armor if you want to get a lot of damage for the lightning builds. To overcome the downside of Doriani's prototype, I'm using the Great Wolf amulet with increased mana and lightning damage taken as fire. Then, to get as much negative lightning resistance as possible, I'm using a combination of the Melding on the Flash Jewel and negative resistance on the ring. I didn't want to spend that much on the ring, so I quickly crafted this one. It took me around 3 attempts to get this ring. It's honestly nothing that great, but for now it's enough. Then I decided to use a combination of Mage Blood Flasks with the Purity of Fire and Cold to get me res capped. Also, I decided to swap the shield. I bought item level 86 Titanic Spirit Shield, alt spammed until I get T1 spell damage, and fracture it. Then I spammed some essences of Spirit until I get some useful modifiers. Also, since I'm using Mage Blood, I can easily get immune to elemental ailments with a combination of Storm Shroud and chance to avoid being shocked suffix on a flask. So this means that I can get rid of 2 Abyss Jewels and use Split Personality instead. Okay, let's see how it plays. Also, if by the end of the video you think that I did a great job, don't forget to like and subscribe. It will help me a lot. Also, what are your thoughts about the restart of the league? Will you play it? I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Okay, now I can understand why people enjoy playing Flicker Strike. Sometimes you get pretty satisfying chain jumps, and when it happens, it feels really good. But unfortunately, right now the damage is not that great. And sometimes you get stuck on those mobs, and it gets pretty annoying to control your character. So I think that it's time to roll back to Kinetic Blast. But before that, I need to make a couple changes. Since Kinetic Blast of Clustering is a physical skill, and Doriani's prototype makes us deal no non-lightning damage, we need to convert physical to lightning. I swapped the Watchers, got Lightning Mastery on the tree, and crafted physical to lightning on my gloves. And it's ready. Now let's compare Kinetic Blast to Power Siphon. Okay, as you can see, even without the Headhunter stacks, this build feels pretty amazing. I can easily full clear the strand in less than a minute. I can just warp in the middle and everything will die off screen. So it's ideal build for some quick mapping. The damage is definitely there, but unfortunately it's still not enough for T17 bosses. And then I had a thought. If my main skill is Link in the gloves and I don't have anything important in my wand or the shield, why not try to use the weapon swap and get just better weapons in the second set? Personally, I don't know why people are not using it more often. It's just a single button press, but it can give you a lot of power. Also, because we are no longer using the point span, we are not warping around and can easily control the character. So I just bought some cheap ones and it allowed me to increase the damage by a lot. You can clearly see the difference between those two clips. So yeah, from this point I'm gonna try to use the weapon swap for my next builds. After playing both Power Siphon and Kinetic Blast for a while, I think that I prefer Kinetic Blast. If only I could figure out how to improve the damage for Power Siphon, then I might consider swapping to it, but right now Kinetic Blast is much better. I can easily farm 8 modded T16s, Invitations, T17s. The bosses are not easy, but doable. Overall, I'm extremely satisfied with the build. And I don't even know if the more expensive Mageblade Dorianis prototype version is better than Headhunters. So if you want to try to play this build, I definitely recommend you watching my first part. It's not that expensive and you definitely won't regret it. The final version of the build has around 1.8 million DPS for one explosion. It's pretty hard to calculate the amount of overlaps, so I won't say you the exact number. Then pretty mediocre max hits and really good recovery. And for the weapon swap, we doubled the damage. There are some places for improvements, for example get better gloves, rings, clusters, but I think right now I'm done with the build. So yeah, this is it guys. If you have any suggestions of how I can improve the build, feel free to post them in the comments below. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also stay tuned for my next non-meta build. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!